Travis Wingutso. I shouldn't be indulging in this old man, but yet here I am. I, of course, am not giving you his name. I, of course, am not telling you about his book that he's forcing me to tell all of you about, that I mentioned yesterday, that the fact that there were maps available during the time of the writing of the Book of Mormon disproves his belief, which was circular reasoning, that people didn't know about travel in Saudi Arabia. And so, what does he respond with? I know you are, but what am I? Seriously, that's what he did. The childhood loser response of I know you are, but what am I? Seriously. He says that my argument disproving his argument was circular reasoning. I know you are, but what am I? It's just, this is apologists for you in the Mormon Church. They cannot come to grips with facts and evidence. They have to create speculation. They have to create, it may be true, we think it's true, we believe it's true, we have feelings that it's true, therefore, it's true. It's just stupid. Just plain stupid. So let's go to the core. Is the Book of Mormon plagiarized? The answer is either yes or no. These are factual claims because we can take books available at the time period, we can match them up with the Book of Mormon, and if it's plagiarized, guess what it means? It means the book is not an actual history. End of story. Anybody therefore thereafter claiming the Book of Mormon is a true history for whatever lame reasoning are liars and deceivers. Doesn't matter how clever they think they've masked their argument. If the Book of Mormon's plagiarized, it is not an accurate history. And therefore the whole thing is dismissed. Like I said yesterday, does that mean that the whole church is a fraud and a scam and blah blah blah? No, because that's an improper conclusion. There needs to be more discussion about why. Why were certain books plagiarized in the Book of Mormon and not others? And this lame-ass old man, who I'm surprised is not dead from drinking bleach yet, why don't you go follow your Lord and Master? Trump gave you an order. And so which books were plagiarized? The known popular ones are the 1769 King James Version. How do we know it's plagiarized? Because the errors of the 1769 version were in the Book of Mormon. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that they didn't translate from an original source document, as the Book of Mormon claims to be, from the brass plates. Wrong. The brass plates, therefore, are not real, and therefore are something else. The question is, what else? And I've been going over this with my playlist on the Book of Mormon code. But that's irrelevant for this discussion here as to whether the Book of Mormon is plagiarized or not. So yes, we have one book already. So already, the whole book is not an accurate history, and not even a history. It has nothing to do with the Native American Indians on this continent. It is not by them. End of discussion. But there's more. Remember the replacement of the 116 pages? Guess what a Mormon found? It's got Hebrew Jewish mysticism. Not Hebrew Jewish mysticism, Jewish mysticism. Joe Sampson, he thinks he's confirmed that the Book of Mormon is true. Just like this old creep. No, he doesn't. Let me show you where he's got a bunch of passages. I mean, it's all throughout, but for example, see right here, he goes over the Jewish mysticism part, and then right here, starting here, and then going over to the other side here, here's the passage in Nephi. That's the plagiarism of Jewish mysticism. Jewish mysticism was available during the time of the Smiths. How do we know this? Because, remember the Congregationalists of Ethan Smith? View of the Hebrews? No, it's not plagiarized. And you're going, what? But the Tanners said it was. No, the Tanners were wrong on this one. Ethan Smith's book, View of the Hebrews, is not plagiarized in the Book of Mormon. But the Congregationalist religion in Vermont was attended by the Smiths and the Cowdreys. How do we know this? Because Joseph Sr. was considered a master rodsman in the New Israelites, a version of the Congregationalists founded by Nathaniel Wood. And that's where the wood scrape comes in. And that's where Joseph learned his Jewish mysticism, the reason why he got the Holiness to the Lord parchment, which I told you was a star chart, which I've pointed out there are specific star chart numbering in the Book of Mormon. And I pointed out an error. It's not 344, it's 244. And if you know the writing back then, the 3s can tend to look like the 2s if the ink sort of fades in one particular curve of the 2. I'm curious to know if that's the case. Anyway, so that's where the plagiarism came from. Smiths had access to Jewish mystical writing. A Mormon has confirmed it, even though he doesn't know it. Again, he's as dumb as the rest of apologists for Mormons who defend unsoundly. You've most likely heard about the late war, and it's a longer title with Napoleon and blah blah blah. That was a children's book in the school system. That was part of their history text for school. Plagiarized in the Book of Mormon. There's somebody who actually went through and did a comparison match online. Book of Mormon, not an actual history. Not real as a history. Plagiarized. There's more. The Quran that was published right before they started working on the book. Plagiarized. And there's more. And so yes, Solomon Spaulding. How do we know Solomon Spaulding? Because the town where he lived and read his book to them, people loved reading books back then. They had no TV, they had no radio, all they had was a guy who wrote a book. They want to hear the book. It's a fiction tale. He made it all up. So it's a nice, pleasant story for them to listen to. People like listening to stories. That was their science fiction of the day. It was more of ancient fiction. That's where we get the names Lamanites and Nephites from. And the town knew it. So when the Book of Mormon got presented to their town, they went, hey, wait a minute. We recognize this. And word got out. And a reporter came in, interviewed the town, interviewed the children, and wrote the book, Mormonism Unveiled. Way back when, showing that the Book of Mormon had plagiarized Solomon Spaulding's book. We don't have that book. Why don't we have that book? Why is it lost after being found? We have story. Story is nothing like it. It's in the Roman period. Yes, because it's another book. Even his kids said it was a different book. It wasn't the same. But yet, Mormons still want to insist, no, my God, it's true. It's all real history. Oh. Multiple books. There's one particular female author at that time, which is unusual for a female author to exist. If you know anything about Jane Eyre. But yeah, 3 of her books plagiarized and found in Sidney Rigdon's library. So again, if it's plagiarized, it's not a real history. They wrote it as a fiction, or they wrote it as a code, or they wrote it as a fraud and a scam. Multiple options, but that's our next step, is figuring out why is it plagiarized? Why did they think they can get away with this? Why did they choose those books in those particular places in the book? But it's clear the Book of Mormon is not a translation of ancient Egyptian historical records of the Native American Indians. It's not complicated. It's very simple to understand. And so this old man and others who have come out with their theories about the geography of the Book of Mormon and blah, 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 are all dismissed. Bye, guys. Wrong. You're going down forbidden paths of mists of darkness, heading towards the great and spacious building of the Mormon Church. Plagiarized by Joseph Smith's dreams, Senior's dreams, from Jewish mysticism. The Tree of Life, plagiarized. So please, guys, the Book of Mormon is not true as a historical record of the American Indians. And so, are you going to just give up and go, I'm not listening, no, you're going to destroy my faith, you're not doing faith-promoting stories, you're being negative, you're trying to destroy the church, you're an antichrist? No, those are ad hominem arguments. That does not prove the Book of Mormon true by you name-calling me, by putting a thumbs down. The truth is established by plagiarism. And so, like I told Kwaku in a comment video of my own, I titled Book of Mormon Plagiarism as Proof of Its Truth. It's on my other video channel. But, yeah, I couldn't believe it. he was going over apologists and how they've set up the whole scenario of how the Book of Mormon is legitimate and true. And the last one, oh, it's the exact same writing, the exact same words from the Bible. Oh my God. And Kwaku is just like, oh, this is great. The Book of Mormon is true because it's plagiarizing the Bible. Oh dear God. Alrighty, so just stop the nonsense. I mean, look for other answers and quit abusing other people who are finding out the truth. Just leave us alone. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is false. False. You have the sign of the devil as your sign, plastered on the temples, plastered on the Seagull Gate. Shout at the devil. The Church of Lucifer Christ of Latter-day Saints. So just leave us alone. But you can't quit us, can you? You have to control. You have to dominate us. Just like Laman had to dominate the Nephites. I'm the leader. I'm the one who's supposed to lead. I'll kill you! Yeah, that's who you Mormons are. Laymen.